Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
Season 2.
The show we still haven't pitched to TV.
The podcast game show where two friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the two answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they say.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with. No takebacks.
Our special round this season is reversal. The questioner will pose an open question, but the answerers will be choosing each other's answers. Ideally something they really hate or know very little about, which will lead to some very creative thinking.
That's the game.
Good job, Dan.
Have you heard, generally, I get pissed off about things in the news because I'm an old man, really.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm getting to the point where it's going to be like, the Simpsons meme, old man yells at cloud. That's going to be me. And have you seen this thing now where parents are complaining that SATs are too hard?
Okay.
This is national news now. BBC are reporting on it. Mm-hmm. Even giving you example questions. Like year 6 SATs are too hard. Isn't that the point? Aren't they supposed to be hard?
Yeah, to really wean out and test where they're
be
supposed to go.
A measure of intelligence for secondary school.
Yeah.
It's a standard aptitude test. That's why it's a SAT.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's maybe, okay. Maybe it's because I'm a genius. I'm 29. I'm not fucking 11. But when it's like, Martha is 3 meters in front of Sam. Sam is 2 meters in front of Jeff. Jeff is 5 meters ahead of Lily, who is last in the race.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Lily. I wrote the question, I know. But you know what I mean? It's like, how fucking, how salty do you have to be to complain that your kid's test is too hard?
I think it probably stems down to the whole mental health argument in terms of kids are too stressed these days.
What? At 11 years old?
Yeah.
And okay, I understand people have family issues and stuff like that. But excluding those, at 11 years old, if you live a quote-unquote normal, happy life, what the fuck have you got to be stressed out about?
True.
Do you know what I was stressed out about at 11? Where my fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards were in the morning before school.
Yep.
Or if my brother had beaten me to the CD-ROM that was in the Kellogg's box.
Mm-hmm. Was my Game Boy on charge ready
Yes.
when I came home? Or did I have enough batteries?
Was there enough light so that I'd be able to see my Game Boy in the car on the way home?
Right. Did you do that?
You had to play by street
lights, yeah. Oh, God, that was hell.
Dan,
playing Pokemon going,
were you down on... Were you Game Boying with
I'm going to be honest. I think I gained consciousness at the age of 14. I don't really remember anything from before then.
I also struggled with my child actually quite a lot.
I
a few
remember
things that you remind me of.
I remember generally, what school I went to and who my friends were. About it.
Well, okay, so to fill the audience in on our fairly nomadic season 2. We've been to a few different venues at this point.
We haven't established permanence.
No, especially not now that we have a new member of the family who has conquered my living room. Yeah. But so we are in my office now. Last time we recorded, we were at Dan's house. Mm-hmm. We've recorded at yours in the past, but I think that was actually season 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But we've had a few meetings at yours for season 2. So we're in my office and we haven't got the camera running because we haven't quite worked out what to do with camera footage yet. So there's no point. Straight facts behind the scenes.
I think we need a camera each.
Yeah.
It'll look better.
But we're in my office, and for those people who don't know the layout of my office, which is basically my friends and co-workers, anyone else. It's a pretty buck wild place. It's kind of a half office, half game room, half dining room. Kirk and Dan are currently sat at my dining room table. I am sat in the corner nestled between my desk, which has my work laptop, my home laptop, and my PlayStation on, and my guitar amp. In the corner next to Kirk is a arcade machine that looks very much like it's waiting for a guest spot. It's warm in here because Kirk won't let me have the fan on because he says it makes too much noise.
And we've got to give quality product out here, man.
Yeah, so we're in a pretty wild place. But Dan, to go back to my original point, I want you to experience the trauma that Kirk and I had to go through with non-backlit Game Boys. So there is a Game Boy Advance actually on the table. Please pick it up and have a go.
No, I actually know. I had a Game Boy Color.
Okay, he knows the pain.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine then.
I've been there.
Fucking hell. Cara just texted me at this point saying nice, but from this distance I thought she just said nonce. Because it was like,
wouldn't be out of character.
It was like noise. You know, N-O-I.
Yeah, a nice one.
Noise.
Nice.
Noise.
Nonce.
And at the exact moment that happened, Lauren texted me this image.
Of you being a nonce.
Country toads take me home. It's just a fat toad with a
So
I've received no messages.
the shared brain cell that exists between Lauren, Cara and Celeste is currently somewhere in Binley.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 10. We are now well and truly on the final countdown for season 2, boys.
It's close.
Yeah, and we're recording today. Episode 3 came out today. It dropped today, and it is fire. It's brilliant. In my opinion, I think it's one of the funniest ones we've done so far that I can remember, at least, because I can't remember what happened yesterday. After we established that Kirk and Dan were both sexually attracted to Cos. No, so episode 9. But do you know what's quite funny? I've been listening back to season 2 and I've been thinking about how far off we were in terms of release schedule. Episode 1, we were like, oh yeah, so it's going to be like mid-March when you get this. It's fucking start of May. And I'm like, oh, we'll do these predictions, and we're like predicting things, and it's like, what? We were predicting things that were going to happen in April, and the episode is already a month after when we were like, oh, this will be coming to you live.
You got Super Bowl right there.
Yeah.
I did get the Super Bowl right. What can I say? Brock Purdy.
50-50.
Brock Purdy was abducted by
No,
aliens.
because it was only the first round of the playoffs.
Was it? I don't remember.
Yeah, Brock Purdy was abducted by aliens, which allowed which allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to make a comeback in the fourth quarter, led by Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, so episode 10. I wonder what it's going to be called. What do you think it's going to be called, Kurt?
Whatever we say now, it's not going to be.
Yeah, it's not going to be that. Trying to think of what. I have no idea what your topic is going to be.
Potatoes and tartars.
Oh, that's good.
Not.
If you can bring that up today, you'll get like a bonus, not a point, but a bonus pride point.
3 points.
Bonus pride point.
However many points I need to get in the lead.
I think it's going to be called Squeamish Cheese.
And again, if you can bring that up in this episode.
Dan, you look like a squeamish cheese.
Hang on.
Done.
I think we call like Pack Bad Men or something.
Okay. So, scores currently are Kirk is on 8 points.
Yeah.
Dan is on 9 points. And I am leading on 10, but my lead is slowly being eroded. So, I need to.
I mean, if you don't do well today, then either of us can just catch up.
Yep. 100%.
We'll take over.
Let's play ball. Who are we?
I'm Kirk. I'll try that again.
Right.
I panicked. I was still in work mode. I'm Kirk.
Right. I think it's episode 10. Let's reintroduce ourselves quickly, chaps.
Sure.
Who are we?
Captain Kirk.
Smokey D.
And I'm the president of Punani, Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, that's different. Oh God. And President, it's your first take here, I guess.
And as part of my presidential decree, I have the closed question: who was sexier, me or George Washington?
George Washington.
He had wooden teeth.
Oh,
Splinters in
yeah,
your
splinters.
Right. Okay. Here we go. At this point in time, you chaps, you've been superheroes a couple of times.
Yeah.
So we'll do another one. It's like a classic Would a Panther question, I think, at this point. You've got a really limited choice of powers. You've got 2, and the coin's going to decide what you got.
Okay.
So you're going to tell me, would it be better to be able to read everybody's mind or move objects with your mind? Kirk, heads or tails?
Tails.
For
read.
It is tails.
Yeah, read. Read everybody's mind.
How you feeling about that, Kirk? Still happy with that choice?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Go on then. Take us away, boys.
I mean, moving things with my mind has always been my choice of power whenever anyone's ever asked me what I would have.
Okay, really?
Yeah, because I hate reaching for things. Like, if the remote's just out of reach.
That's explicitly when you would use it. It's not like, oh my God, a car's going to fall off a cliff like a Jedi. Instead, it's going to be...
I ain't about that life.
It's just going to be, oh my God, it would make so far away.
It's like, I could fold the laundry easier. Like, just literally just sit there like, fold, rather than actually having to physically do it. I could be doing something else whilst moving the other thing with my mind.
Yeah.
Do the dishes. We do it all at once.
And sorry, actually, I didn't explain it properly, so I apologize in advance. I was thinking of these on Jedi terms.
Right.
So you've basically got the Force in terms of like you can move and manipulate things. Mm. So yes, you can read people's minds. You can also do a bit of a Jedi mind.
Oh, nice! I can manipulate. Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. But like not massively.
Yeah.
Like, and also it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, basically
weak-minded people.
Basically, you're two halves of a Jedi.
Cool.
All right. Still, I stand by my point of less effort to do things.
Okay.
And that's literally all I want in life.
Fair enough.
So mundane tasks that require movement done easier.
So there's no intention from you for doing good or evil or improving or your life or anyone else's in any way. Instead, it's very much just...
If I see an old lady falling over, I'll stop her. But I ain't going out of my way to do it.
Just to see you in your car and some old lady's tripped and fallen into the road in front of you and you just run her over like, well, I was in the car. I could have, but...
No. If I see it, whoosh, she's up, she's stopped, she's not hit the floor, she's fine. But if you see it on the news that something's going down, I'm going to make my way there to kind of like help out.
Interesting.
I mean, unless it's on my street, maybe. And just look out the window.
Yeah, that's a bit. It's a bit interesting, that, isn't it? Do superheroes move to where the most shit happens, or does the shit happen around the superhero?
I mean, if you're like Spider-Man, it's already in New York.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like,
but Coventry, all the crimes are stabbing in back alleys. Like, I'm not going to be there.
You could move the knife out of the guy's hand.
Yeah, but I'm not going to know when it's going to happen. And then I'll get there and be like, we've been stabbed. I'll just throw you to the hospital or something like that.
And just pick him up. You got to spin him around as well. Like.
Put a perfect spiral on him.
I just see blood spray. Just like
send him.
Like a fucking Nerf football.
You've got to sew some laces into him first.
I suppose I could be a good police officer because no one could run away from me.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't really want that life. After Laura's told me some things about being a police officer. I don't want to be a police officer.
No.
I could stop minor things and just live my life normally, just with just slightly less effort.
So, Kirk, you've heard how Dan will be the most blasé superhero on the planet.
Yep.
Help! If it's convenient, man.
So, the one time that Dan has highlighted here how his power is useful to him is the one time it's not for me, right? So he's at home alone and he's just doing housework.
He's got a missus to do that.
I'm saying if I'm home alone,
maybe edit this one with headphones in, Kirk.
I didn't even say anything. If I'm home alone, I've got no one's mind to read, right? Yeah. So it's a useless power if I'm home alone. However, if we talk about like notoriety and how how people that kind of want to be famous, when they are famous, they hate being famous. That's Dan, right? So Like, I imagine that would be him. Like, he likes the idea of maybe being famous one day, but he'll hate the idea of people coming up to him constantly saying, "Can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph?"
At least if I am famous for having the force, that if I want people to leave me alone,
Oh, that's true.
see you later.
Goodbye.
I mean, so could you if they're weak-minded. Like,
Yeah. But
you don't want a photo with me.
But the thing is, there's like
You want to go home and rethink your life.
it's much harder for you to hide yours in public. So, like, if something does happen, there's CCTV everywhere. They're going to see your like hand move or like you be around constantly.
Yeah, they're going to connect that.
when these things happen.
Also, to be fair, Dan has that kind of energy, I think, where he'd absent-mindedly, like, he'd pick up a pound off the floor by making it float into his hand in the middle of town. Everyone would be like, and he'd be like, shit.
Exactly.
I just be like, what? Magic.
Whereas no one is going to be able to know that I read minds.
Yeah.
And even if they did, there's no way of them proving it. Whereas they could prove yours because there's probably video evidence somewhere. If we do go down the whole superhero route, then I'll be able to read the mind of the criminal if I am around them before they even do anything, and be able to be like, stop, or tell the police or whatever, and be able to stop that instantly. And it's just a fuckload of fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Being able to see, like, it'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it, to see what people are thinking at certain times. Like,
It'd make people watching a lot more exciting.
yeah, like you'd be sitting down the park and some bloke goes, damn, like, my cock's itchy. And you're like,
I don't know why, but I get immense pleasure from haggling in like a foreign country where I'll be able to read their mind where they go, oh, this was £7 last week. £9. And I go, oh, fuck you, man. It was £7 last week. That's what I would use it for.
so we've got if
foreign country.
we've got if it's convenient, man, and the bargain hunter.
Yeah. This is the best superheroes we've ever come up with.
You're in the fucking Aldi special buys. Like, when will the drills be back in stock?
Oh no, they come up to you. You're like, oh, have you got any in size whatever? And it's like, nah. Like, can you check the back now? We ain't got any.
You will.
Yes, you do. You're
will
lying.
go and check the back.
You will go and check the back.
You want to go and check the back,
and you will
It's
check it
useful.
again.
It's useful. Excellent customer service every time.
3 inches is perfectly impressive and satisfactory.
I'd also, speaking of shopping, I'd be the guy stood outside the shop, just scanning items. in other people's.
You'd have been great a few years ago when Black Friday was mental, because you know, like all the Black Friday people run it in. You'd be like, I want the new Xbox. And it just fucking comes to you.
Yeah.
Whereas I tell everyone in my mind, you don't want one.
Yeah.
They will just leave.
Yeah.
Right.
You all want
for me.
You all want Wii U's.
Did anyone?
Okay. So we've established your kind of chill
Motivations.
Like motivations is maybe a wrong way of putting it, but like so how do you think you'd gain from it? Like, so we've obviously established like your.
I've already told you I'm going to get those little wooden beads in Ibiza for dirt cheap.
I mean, you, to be fair, Kirk,
Could just get both of us could just take what we want.
you could both do really well on the stage.
Penn and Teller fool us.
Yeah.
So
I'd go mental on stage, to be fair, if I'm hearing all these thoughts.
I think you'd probably be able to, like, Jedis seem
I
to
could
be
probably
able to control it.
Yeah, I'd be able to probably
Like, Jedis can do it, but they kind of have to
mute.
But like, so basically,
Just switch.
turn them down.
Dan would become like this mega stage magician who can like make things float and manipulate them in midair, and everyone would be like, oh, and then you'd basically be the new Darren Brown.
Yeah.
I'd be the best.
Which,
Be a mentalist.
speaking of which, Darren Brown, right? If he's that good, why isn't he interrogating terrorists? Like, I love Darren Brown. I went to see him live. He's brilliant.
Can I?
Which one did you see?
The bald one.
Which show? I saw The Showman like last year.
No, this was that. I went to go to that, right? I booked tickets and it got cancelled because of COVID in 2020. And then guess what? It got fucking redone on the day of my cousin's wedding.
Nice.
It messes you up though, man. I'm still shook by that show.
I went to see one. I'm probably talking like 2016, but it was really good. It was really good. He made some woman eat glass.
Nice.
Like, she literally ate a light bulb. And he was like, it won't hurt you if you believe it won't hurt you. And she just ate this light bulb. And he was like, yeah, it's real glass. Look. And he like bite a bit into it and it like shattered. And he's like, yeah, it's fine.
Jesus. What a man.
Have you been to Thorpe Park on his
No.
ghost
It's always
train?
been closed when I've gone.
I've never been to Thorpe
You're not
Park.
missing out much. Garbage.
Oh, is it?
It's so bad.
I mean, I'm not being funny. I've never been to Thorpe Park, but if they're going to turn around and name a fucking, or like make a ride after a bloke who stands on stage telling people to feel weird,
so
it's not Disney World.
it's slightly different. He says he says in it, because he's done his little recording in it, not to spoil it, but I don't care. I'm going to do it. I wouldn't recommend going on it, so I'm going to spoil it for everyone now. It's really cool setup. Like, you spend ages queuing, which is the worst part.
Should we do like a insert spoiler error?
Insert.
Sure.
If you want to go to Thorpe Park and go on Darren Brown's thingy bobby and not get it spoiled,
Skip forward 3 minutes.
Skip forward to insert Kirk here.
Can we do like a soundbite, like woo woo woo? Spoiler ahead! Spoiler ahead! Woo woo! Like alarm. Give us some.
Sure. I mean, it might take up most of the episodes.
I mean,
what we do.
This ride's been out for years. If you haven't been on it yet,
Yeah, it hasn't been out for ages.
You're never going on it because it's always closed. But anyway,
Every time.
it's a VR experience thing.
Okay.
And you sit, like, the setup's really cool. So you go actually, no, it reminds me. You go into like a little room, and then a guy does you get a hologram of Darren Brown doing a talk. And you go into the next room, and then there's another talk from one of the people that work there. And
What? Just like Steve in maintenance.
yeah, he's like you're getting onto this train or whatever. The best part about that,
You just gave me this image of some really depressed, like fucking ride operators, like, please keep arms and legs inside the carriage at all times.
Getting on this train or whatever.
It's a fucking hologram. They've gone through all the effort. Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
no. So it is this guy. The best. So slight tangent from my story, but it's still relevant. Is the guy? He actually put a lot of effort into like trying to set the scene and everything, because it's supposed to be like a horror thing, and it was so funny because I was with my work colleagues. And he was doing this, like, he was doing the story and he's getting proper into it. And then right at the end, it was just silent in the room. And one of my colleagues goes, everyone in the room bursts out laughing. This poor guy stood at the front like,
Oh, he wasn't a hologram.
No, he was a real guy.
I was having this image of like this really depressed ride operator they've gone through the effort of making a hologram.
No. Darren Brown was the hologram.
Yeah, no.
He was a genuine, real
Okay,
guy,
right.
stood there doing his best at his job, and then it just gets ruined. But then afterwards, you get onto this train that's suspended, and you put your VR headset on, and obviously this train can wiggle and bit to go with it, and you're kind of watching. You're sat in the train on your own, like through your VR headset. Obviously, everyone's around you, and you can look up and down this train, and it starts making worry things and all spirits and whatnot, and trying to scare you. And the people will walk up and down the train and like jolt you at certain moments. It wasn't until the end that I found out mine was about a minute behind everyone else's, because I suddenly heard everyone go, "Oh, Dan's still in it. What's going on? Dan's still there." And I'm like, "It's not. Are you all finished?" It's not. It's like, yeah, well, I was not done. There's a thing coming down. There's this big like
So you're the
shadow
reason it was
ghost.
closed.
Yeah. And I was like, there was like this big shadow thing coming towards me. I was like, well, I mean, everyone else is leaving. I better go. And yeah, it was just really disappointing because like everyone was leaving and I could hear them all getting up and laughing, and yeah, it was just.
I didn't realize it was a VR thing.
So I would stand by and say that isn't necessarily a negative experience of the ride. It's just you happen to have a really niche.
The actual video as well was like, man, it was like so.
I mean, it's years old
And then
VR technology as
There's
well.
a bit afterwards. This is like the spoiler part. Is you go into this other room where they're like, oh, here's the exit. And then it suddenly starts shaking this room. And then through like, I think it was a fireplace or something, like it pops down and then the shadow thing that was in the video is there.
Oh, and
It's
you were like,
supposed to go.
you're like,
I
who's
was,
that?
I was like, what is going on? And I was staring at a vending machine like, like what's going on? And I turned around when it was going back in and I went, they don't tell you where to look.
Clearly Dan was hungry.
It wasn't even a real vending machine. It was part of the setting.
Was your VR still on at that point?
No. This was in like, like this is where we thought they were going
Like,
to
I can
let us
understand
out.
you getting a bit turned around in VR. Like I've played a few games where I like me and Sean play this game called After the Fall together. It's like zombie.
Yeah.
It's like Left 4 Dead in VR. It's really fun, but also Sean plays it a lot more than I do because I don't have that much time to play VR. And and Sean would be like, over there by the thing. And I'm like, what? But yeah, so
I've got a rant, but I'm going to say it now because it's related.
okay.
Alton Towers, right? They have, you know, the haunted house, and you shoot things.
That's
Right?
gone now.
Duel, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I'm livid. Do you know what they've replaced it with? A shitty ghost train. And I've
Right,
heard
like
so many bad
like
reviews.
a
Like
standard.
standard.
Just
Go
this-
in there. The car goes around the thing, and there's
It's
like
like a
things that pop
story
out.
in it.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell? Alton Towers, sort yourself out, man.
What is even the point? Theme parks are dying.
Sort yourselves out.
I was actually quite good at that.
At Duel.
You want-
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean,
There's
if
also
it still
one-
existed, I'd challenge you both. But
The one we need to go to Disneyland Paris, the Buzz Lightyear one.
oh yeah, that is good.
I'd love to go to Disneyland Paris. I've never been to Disneyland
You know,
Paris.
I've been a few times as a kid, but like not for ages.
I've
So
been 15 times.
oh wow.
No, I remember you saying in a previous episode. But I really want to go back to Orlando
I've not been to America.
or go to. Have you not been to America at all?
No.
Fair enough. I'd love to go to Orlando again or go back to, not back to, but go to Disney World, the OG one in California,
Uh-huh.
just for Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine?
Is that not in Orlando? It's in California.
I think they have two, but
Oh,
they're
okay.
slightly different.
Yeah.
I think like the one you see lots of, where it's like the full size Millennium Falcon and like,
And like the Saber building.
yeah, I think that's all in California.
Oh, okay. It's good to know. I was going to book tickets to Orlando eventually and be like, oh, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, so then you got to try and get your lightsaber back through customs as well. I don't see that being as easy.
Better off
could you
building a droid instead.
could you imagine like being there at the fucking border control, like going through the scanner, and a bloke's like fucking all the armed police are there with your fucking guns pointing at you, going, "Open the fucking bag. What's in the bag?" And you open it up.
I'm sure they see enough of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, did I ever tell you about?
especially
Sorry,
if it's made of plastic.
we're fully going off the rails.
We have. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time that I went to Germany with work, and they have these sweets in Germany called Super Dickmann, right?
Super dick, man.
Yeah, we all laughed. And they're basically like, think of like your Tunnux tea cake on steroids. So it's like a wafer and a marshmallow that's maybe like 2 or 3 inches tall,
Right.
and then covered in chocolate. And they sell them in boxes.
Mm.
And the boxes, I kid you not, look like a case of fucking grenades.
Nice.
So like, I'm going through the fucking scanner, and I was like, oh, Super Dickmans, A, they're funny, and B, they're tasty. So I'll take a case back with me. Fucking stopped in the airport security, and they're like, what's in your bag? Like, clothes.
And then you insulted him by calling him a super dick man.
Yeah, and the guy was like, no, what else is in your bag? Like, and I was like, deodorant. Yeah, going through it. And he fucking opens up the bag. He goes, super dick man. Yeah. I was like, cool.
Sorry, I've got another story.
We haven't been together in a room for a while.
It relates.
Okay. Super dick man.
Is it the NIA in Birmingham?
Well, there's the NIA and the NEC.
NIA is the one
The smaller
It's now
one.
utility
Like-
arena.
that you can walk through.
It's like by
the-
SeaWorld and that.
SeaWorld, yeah.
Yeah.
So they do bag checks as you walk through. Like you can literally,
Even if you're not going
if you're not going in anywhere, because you can use it as a walkthrough to get to like the other part of Birmingham.
Yeah.
And me and
Bad planning there, Birmingham, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Stick
so-
your events arena as a major route.
yeah, it was quite quiet anyway when me and Lauren were going, and we walked in and we saw they were checking bags. My heart dropped at that moment because I had my bag on, and at one point I had a smoke grenade from paintball in that bag, and I was sat there like, did I take it out? Because they're about to check my bag. Luckily I had. I don't know what would have gone down if I still had that smoke grenade in my bag.
Oh man.
This was back when I worked at the paintball place.
Were you also wearing a T-shirt that said, "I am definitely not a terrorist, I promise"?
No.
Right. Okay. I think we're going to wrap up that question because it just got totally off the rail. So give me final arguments, boys. Why is Alton Towers better?
It wasn't until they got rid of Duel. Anyway, I mean, going back to Dan's point a minute ago, I'd be able to read his mind and know that he was thinking about a smoke grenade in his bag.
So I was thinking about. So you'd be a great security guard. Are you hiding?
He's thinking about something.
Okay.
I could, if I had that smoke grenade, throw it over the building and then bring it back to me later.
Okay. It
was.
Quite frankly, both of those powers were a bit crap on their own, weren't they?
Yeah.
I
think Jedi's only work because they got both.
I think if you use them well, unlike us two decided to, they'd be great. Yeah. But when you just want to do little things, and you just
want to live a normal suburban white picket fence life,
exactly, and you just want to mow your lawn without having to go outside.
One thing with Dan's though is he'd get so lazy that even video gaming he'd do with his mind. He'd have a PS5 controller going. Blah, blah, blah.
I do that anyway. I've got a rig.
Right, I think I'm going to give it to Kirk.
Yay!
For no real reason other than the stuff he was saying made me laugh a little bit more. Although, Dan, I did appreciate your Thorpe Park rant. It was very good. Should the question have been about Britain's greatest theme parks?
Alton Towers is better than Thorpe Park, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Do you know where
the Smiler is my favourite?
Mm-hmm. Do you know where people never talk about much anymore is Drayton Manor?
Because it's irrelevant.
It's shite.
I used to
love
all
the best rides.
Used to be amazing.
You know
Stormforce 10.
Still there. That's good.
You know what's even more irrelevant? Cheshire Land of Adventure.
Oh, don't even.
Isn't it Chessington?
Chessington World
same
of
difference.
Adventures.
That's how irrelevant it is.
What about Legoland? Is that still vibing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Windsor. Yeah.
Should we go Legoland? Should we make it a live episode? We'll just go.
Surely you've been.
I've been.
Right.
Not recently. I've been a long time, but I've been.
I remember as a kid, I spent more time building the Lego in the little buildings they had as opposed to being on the rides.
My favourite was the actual cities and villages they made.
Oh, yeah.
And just staring at them for hours.
Yeah. They had this little car roller coasters.
They had some moving around and stuff, and I just loved it.
Right, okay then. So, at the end of question 1 that went really off the rails, we're sorry, guys.
What was the question?
Kirk is on 9, Dan is on 9, I'm on 10.
Okay, so a sorcerer has turned you into an inanimate, non-electric object for a year. To be changed back into a human before the year is up, you need to be able to get at least 100 people to touch you. What are you being turned into?
Jesus Christ. That's a little bit similar to the one that I had last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Non-electric
item. But 100 people have to touch you within a year. At least 100, so it can be more.
So it's not like when you hit 100, you turn back. It's like 365 days if you've hit 100.
Yeah.
Do you count petrol-fueled vehicles as electric?
Yes, they have it's an electric starter motor.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify why.
Inanimate.
So it can't even be like the handrail on a bus because the bus is not.
I guess it can be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was just going to be a bus.
Be a whole bus.
Yeah.
No, I was going smaller than that. I was going to say door handle on a hotel room.
Nice.
On a really busy hotel.
Nice.
I would be the sword in the stone at Disneyland.
Oh, also nice. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Everyone would be pulling on me all day.
You both chosen really disgusting things where we've probably eaten stuff in hotel room. That's ugh.
I was just going for quantity over quality, really.
Yeah, to be fair, both of those would probably get 100 in a day. Yeah, you're aware. Yeah.
I'm fully aware. I'm there, so it's like somebody's breaking my neck every time they turn the door.
So as you mentioned, do you turn straight away? No, you're there for 365 days as this object. Dan, you've hit your 100 in an hour.
Yeah.
So now you've got 364 and a half days
of pure joy.
To be I've done that now. There's no hope left. You obviously know you're going to change back, but I
have a view of the parade.
Yeah, but it's every day. You'd be fucking sick of it by the end, wouldn't you?
Right.
For me, for me, I think
there's 2 a day.
For me, I don't think it's actually that many people even in a busy hotel. Because if you were to say average 2 people stay in a hotel every week of the year, you're still getting to 2 weeks before the end of the year before you've hit your 100. Yeah, then plus cleaners gives you a bit more float. So for the times that you, but yeah, okay, they would still touch it multiple times. But if it has to be 100 individuals, then
That's a good point. Actually, I didn't think about that. Is it individual touches or is it individual people? Because with
feel like-
hotel rooms, if it's one of those electric ones,
I feel like
they're touching
people.
them a million fucking times to try to open the fucker.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's
So-
individual people. It's,
Yeah, 100
that's
individual
how
people.
I interpret.
yeah.
it.
So as I say, I still think in a popular hotel, like somewhere like the fucking Ritz, or what's the big one in New York?
Not Madison. The Hilton.
Well, there's the Hilton,
yeah.
or like what's the big one in
the
London?
Britannia in Coventry.
Yeah, the Britannia.
Must be touched there.
What's the famous
Everyone
one?
puts a rag on.
What's the famous one in London where the taxis go up and back round?
The Savoy.
Savoy.
Yeah.
The Savoy.
Yeah.
You go, that's easily stacked every week because like people come to London to stay there.
Yeah.
So you're just there, like that you'll be there, and that you'll get enough action over a year that you'll get there.
True. And not quite interesting, I guess, if you're going to
Yeah, and you're going to meet
brush
lots,
shoulders or handles for your sake
Yeah.
with famous big people.
and like,
Famous big people.
and you kind of get to play. It'll be a bit of a game, wouldn't it? Like you'll see someone walk down the corridor. It's a new week that you just saw the last ones check out. Oh, is this one for me? Is this one? Yeah, she's pretty sexy. He's pretty hot. Oh yeah, come touch me up, baby. Ah, yeah.
Dan, how would you feel about, obviously, as you'd be the sword, knowing the secret to how it actually gets pulled?
Oh, I already kind of know.
Do you spill? Because I don't.
Oh, I don't think that's my right to tell anyone.
Woo! Spoilers! Woo!
Spoilers. Don't they just have like a latch?
Where?
Is it not just a bloke with a button who
Or a
lets it
button,
go when
yeah.
he sees like a
Yeah.
disabled kid?
Haven't they got a camera
Yeah,
on?
like-
They've got a camera on
They've
it.
got a camera on it, I guess, but like,
at all
there's no one
times.
around him at the time.
Well, there's people that.
It's probably like
No, 'cause I'm
or like
sure
a
it's-
magnet or
I'm-
something.
or like a one in.
I don't know
1,000.
exactly, but I know
Okay,
that there's
spoilers, no spoilers. We've got the same ideas.
someone releases it.
Okay.
When they decide.
or it's a random number generator, and if you pull and you're like
Yeah.
number 600,
It's not.
So I saw a video of a girl pulling it, and she gets it out, and then a big dude tries, doesn't work. The girl goes back and does it again.
Yeah, someone. I reckon it's someone controlling it.
Someone controlling it.
Decide.
Okay.
So he's like, "Oh, that person did it, so they have to be able to do it again."
So their job is just to watch the sword and the
Yeah.
stone camera and just press yes or no.
So that would be my game. Is are they going to pull me?
Oh, that's that. I like that actually. That's not bad. You're pulling it back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it, like,
Mm.
like, is this person? And then I get pure entertainment. Like I'll see the characters going by.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at that kid trying to beat up Mickey Mouse. I punched Chip once, like Chip and Dale.
Yeah.
Punched him. Tried to
Why?
kidnap me. I was a little kid. This is one of my many times at Disneyland, and no, it was both of them. Chip and Dale both came up to me. I punched Chip. I remember. It was the one with the black nose.
You let Dale get away with it.
Well, I had one arm free, so and he just happened to be the one that was there. So yeah, they just were walking through the park, and they decided this was back when, like now you have to queue up to see the characters, and,
Yeah.
and they're very
When I went though.
they're very protective. When you were little, they were just wandering around,
Oh yeah, there was.
They-
Yeah.
walking around to just interact with them. No one would be like swarming them and everything. You just
No.
like pass them here, have
That's
your
true.
autograph, and then you leave. And they would just walk. This was like
They don't do
really
that anymore.
no.
Oh.
Too many people just swarm them.
Oh man.
And it kind of ruined it. But it was a quiet day, and they kidnapped me, so I punched him.
I just found a WikiHow article on how to pull the sword and the stone,
Oh yeah,
and like it's like how they have like different options. Like option 1, try this method. Option 2, try this method.
Yeah.
Option 1, Disney employees actually just pick. So
yeah.
like whatever. Option 2 is like you need to pull it by the cross guard with your feet 3 feet apart and in a certain way, and then if you're lucky, it might go. And then option 3 is like if you interact with enough of the characters around the area first, like the sword and the stone characters, then you can do it.
That doesn't sound right. That sounds like a video game.
I feel like the first one is
first one, or the second one's not bad. Like there might be some kind of weight plate somewhere.
yeah.
If you stand in the right place, it'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bizarre.
that'd be like I say, that'd be my game.
But like
figure out who's gonna
I just think
take me.
I just think a classy hotel, where there's going to be lots of rich people.
Would you be the hallway one or the indoor in the room one?
I'd like to think I'd have an eye either side.
And you can
So I
just
could be-
switch between.
So if there's like some sexy people, I could be like, If there's some not sexy people, I could be like, And if there's some, and like,
So to the listeners, that sounds exactly the same.
But like the thing is as well, fancy hotel like the Savoy, it's going to be like, there's not going to be grubby, like the people aren't going to be dirty. And I know that sounds horrible.
True. No, it's true.
Sounds horrible to say, but like,
They're going to be classy people.
Dan, day one, mate, you're going to have a kid come up to you covered in like slushy and candy floss, and he's going to try and rip you out. You're going to be sticky. You're going to be covered in bees. You're going to be covered in juice, and then there's going to be like people, and you. Oh, just imagine when you turn back all the germs that are on you.
You're gonna have strong.
Listen, mate, I've already been a toilet brush. I can handle slushy.
Oh. All I'm saying is,
I just want to be in the most magical place on the planet for a year.
Strong Russian men just
Strong.
pulling.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
and much in the way that I feel like mine would kind
How
of be
many
like,
strong Russian men go to Disneyland? For a year?
Mine would almost feel like somebody's trying to twist my neck sideways when they open me. For Dan, I imagine it'd be like somebody's literally trying to pull him up.
It depends. If they grab the handle, I'm just going, oh!
And if they grab him by the cross guard,
It's like they're
having
picking
his
me up by
shoulders ripped out.
under my arms. I'll feel like Simba. Lift me up like a baby.
Yeah, so I think it's, for me, little hotel door handle. Nice, quiet life with knowing that you're going to get out of it, but you're not going to be essentially mentally tortured by screaming American children for a year.
I'd be in Paris, so they'd be French.
Screaming
Even
French
worse.
children. Even worse. They haven't got guillotines to entertain them anymore.
I know, right? The guillotine prime there.
Can I still speak?
Imagine. No.
That'd be great.
Okay, nice. I think I've got a decision.
Also, the one in Paris is right next to the castle, and I get to see all the pretty princesses.
It's almost as bad as episode 3.
Yeah.
What?
Get to see Lightning McQueen in his lingerie.
Now, but for the most part, it was definitely going to Dan. I was like, Disney, that's a great idea. Yeah, sure. I get to see everything. But then, after being a performer for so long in my life, I understand that it is the same show until they change it over and over and over again. I do take James's point of, yeah, it's great the first few weeks. I'm like, sweet, this parade is on again. But then after that first few weeks, you're going to go, the parade's on again. Oh, I know what's coming. Here's Mickey, and then there's Tarzan, and there's the Lion
You just
King,
don't appreciate Disney like I do.
Whereas,
I love Disney.
whereas me, it'd be like, oh, who's that sexy person? Then
That's what I'm thinking.
and then,
right?
like at the end, like 3:00 in the afternoon, when the cleaner lady comes. All right, Linda, how's it going, love?
When you underestimate me, when there's a song I like,
yeah.
and I've just heard for the first time, and I really like it, it'll be the only song I listen to.
That's not about it. Yeah, I do that too.
It's the only song I listen to for weeks.
Oh, Dan, you and me should go to like a Disney karaoke somewhere.
Yeah.
We should go. And James come along too. You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't mind Disney, but
I will sit there in the car, if it's playing.
his Spotify playlist is 3 songs long.
No. It's all the songs that I like, but I will sit there and I'll just let's put it on again. It's just
To be fair,
I'll just do an entire journey with one song.
If I find a song I like,
and then still want to listen to it,
I'll end up looping it a bit. Like, oh yeah, I like this.
It's true. You're pulling it back.
And-
Dan, you're pulling
yeah.
it back. One thing I'm worried about with Dan, though, is you're in the sun and in the rain, and you're in that weather where he's in a nice air-conditioned hallway. Surrounded by potentially
but
beautiful people.
I'm cold hard steel anyway.
So he'll be colder when it's cold,
Colder, harder, and steelier.
and warmer when it's warm because steel conducts heat.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
But
it'll be 10 degrees in Paris, and he'll feel like it's -5.
yeah, but then the nice cold hands of a slushy will be the relief that it'll drip down my blade. It'll be like a droplet of water down your spine.
I also like to think if it was one of those doors, the ones with like the twisty thing to lock it, rather than like a proper thing.
You mean a key?
No.
Like
the little twist
Yeah,
button thing. I think that would tickle when they do it.
The problem with that one is in a hotel, you see people on their way into the room and on their way out, and then at night mostly. People don't stay in the if they're at a hotel, they're checking
There is
in.
a good 8 hours.
You will be
there.
staring at.
There's plenty of activity in a hotel.
Nah,
People are
you'll
you've got
be
check-in time, check-out time, dinner time, breakfast
Yeah,
time.
but if it's a hallway, you'll spend a good 8 or 9 hours of just the day, let alone the night, of just wall and like obscured view of a room. Because most hotels you can't even see the bed from the door.
Yeah, but you can see the telly.
Not if it's on the wall of the side.
No, it's not on.
It'll be side on. Yeah, and not if it's not on because no one's there to watch it.
I'll just tap up Linda. I'll be like, Linda, leave telly on.
You can't speak. We've established that.
So Dan, you just made this really hard for me. You really have. I was definitely going with James then to be like, well, that sounds really interesting. What if like Daniel Craig comes to the room with another woman? You know, like there's that kind of stuff. I'd be really interested to see that. Right, but oh wow! But then
you could make money off it because after the year you could sell all the goss.
You could. But that makes a good point.
Who's going to believe you?
It's only going to be that few hours max of a day that you're actually going to see any action, whereas you are going to be able to be entertained by something.
Yeah, and you can see what all the employees do at night.
That's do you know what? I'm going to go with Dan.
Oh.
Sorry, James. Well, you clawed it back. Honestly, you were not winning 10 minutes ago. You went well out of there.
Was it my comment?
I feel like you made a decision. We went off the rails and going off rails changed your decision.
I had to protect you from the boring life of a hallway.
No. Well, fair play, Dan. Good effort there, mate.
Yeah. I kind of want to spend a year as a sword now.
In Disneyland.
Right. Okay. So
a week I'll do.
Well done, Dan.
Just dress him up as a sword.
It's Halloween sorted.
Right.
Don't pull on this sword.
End of question 2.
Yeah.
Brings us to 10 for Danwell, 9 for Kirk, and 10 for me.
Okay, so a big thanks to our sponsors for Season 2 of Wood Panther Killer Raccoon in the Wild, Manuka Farm. They provide a wide range of honey-infused CBD products that help manage pain, anxiety, and sleep. And by using the code PANTHER10, you can take 10% off your first order across the site.
If you're like me and you're struggling with your sleep a bit, for me, what's working best is the oil gummies and the sleep spray.
I've not tried the sleep spray.
Yeah, and the oil is really tastes good. Tastes like honey. You wouldn't know that there's CBD in it. The gummies have got a bit of a twinge, but I still really like them because they taste like honey. Also, their skincare stuff is really good. I've been using it. It's top notch.
Nice.
And if CBD isn't your thing, well, they do just sell honey as it is. So that's Panther 10, PANTHER 10 for 10% off at manukafarm.co.uk. That's Manuka, MANUKA, farm, PHARM.co.uk. Every time the Panther 10 code is used, we look really good. We don't get any money for it, or it's not an affiliate link, but it really helps us in terms of growing our podcast, and it really helps Manuka Farm grow their business. So it's a win-win for everyone.
And you help yourself out with your pain, anxiety, and sleep.
Yeah, give it a go. Tell them your boys sent you.
And thanks to Manuka Farm for sponsoring us.
It could all level up.
Yeah. It could.
Do well. Do
He's
well.
on the edge of his seat.
He's already nervous. I can see it.
I am.
Right. If you could move to another country, where would it be? Now, I've got some rules just to make this a little bit less. You're going to this place. Off limits places, because obviously you're picking for each other. You're not allowed to pick Russia. You're not allowed to pick North Korea. You're not allowed to pick Ukraine. You're not allowed to pick Sudan, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Somalia, Iran, Iraq, or any other war-torn country I may have missed. Just because, let's not go down that hole. It has to be a different country. Not in the UK, so no Scotland. I don't know why you would, but Scotland, Wales, Ireland. I'm also going to say Ireland is out of question as well. And you can specify a city or a town in that place if you like. You are allowed to look at your phones to Google where you want to go. And then once you've got your country, you can then also look up, yearly events that happen in that place to convince me to move there. Actually, I'm going to change that slightly. Once you've got your town/country, you can get all your information from Wikipedia page on that place. That is it.
Okay. Okay.
Mine isn't even that bad. Like I wouldn't mind moving there.
Yeah. So try and keep it that's why I gave those rules, is so you can't just you can't send me to North Korea and it just be it has to be livable. You can come back and visit your parents and stuff.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Well, hit me or each other.
I can't pronounce it. Do you want me to give it a go?
Go on.
Ilocostormiot.
Cool.
Or it's also known as Scoresbysund, and it is the most remote town in Greenland.
Ah, can you spell it?
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
ITT OQQ ORT OOR.
Yeah, it's come up.
Yeah, got it.
Wow. It has a shop.
And a population of 345 people.
Okay.
Okay. We're basically neighbours.
Really?
Although I'm not quite totally sure which. We might actually not be. It's hard to tell. You're going to Villa Las Estrellas, which is the Chilean Antarctic Research Center.
So it's the exact opposite side of the world then. Antarctic and Arctic are the opposites, mate.
Yeah, you're right. We're opposite.
Can you spell it?
Villa Las Estrella, like Estrella Dam, with an S on the end. Estrellas.
Estrellas. Antarctica. Incredible. Now, is Antarctica a country?
No.
And does it have a shop? Kirk, I'm gonna
It's
have
a commune.
Oh,
It's not technically a country.
yeah.
It's also not.
There's a church nearby.
Yep, Chapel of St. Mary, Queen of Peace, my local.
Is there? There is an airport as well.
There's a post office.
There's an ambulance service too.
If you're happy to go with it, James, you can.
Yeah.
If not, I am willing to allow Kirk to change it.
No, I'm going to go with it.
Cool. So we've got Smith and Villa Las Antarctica.
So, Dan, you want to move there to Villas?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to call it Chili Villy.
Okay.
Villa Las
I like it.
Estrellas.
Chili Villy.
Chili Villy. You want to move to Chili Villy for a couple of reasons. People pay through the nose for a skiing holiday. So you've got that basically on your doorstep because you've got the whole of the fucking Antarctic. Right? Nice and easy. There's a post office, so you can still send letters to things. There's a church, so if you have a mental breakdown, you got somewhere to go. Technically it's part of Chile, which means that if you're a citizen there, you could also go on holiday to Chile, which isn't that far, really. Actually, on the grand scheme of matters, it's like a boat ride away.
Well, it's a flight.
But that's fine because they've got an airport.
Yeah.
So you've got basically South America on your doorstep for travel, and I bet you've never been to South America.
No.
So you've got all of that. Also, do you know
One of two continents apart from Antarctica that I haven't been to.
Do you want to know something else as well? Antarctica is classed as a neutral place, right? It's not classed in any, like, no one owns it. People have claim to it, but they don't actually own it, right? So what that means, my friend, you could walk a few miles away, start your own fucking country.
God damn.
Start your own town, start your own country, because guess what? Nobody else has claim to it.
We had this conversation,
right?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And then on top of that, who doesn't love penguins?
Wow.
Like, instead of, you know how you're like pissed off people walking dogs around? Imagine how much better it'd be if people were like, come on, Pingu. And just fucking walking their pet penguin. How great would that be? So you can basically snowboard all year round.
Nice.
You can have pet penguin. You could start your own country if you wanted to. Plus, Antarctica has loads of oil that is untapped currently because the UN.
Yep.
Right? You go out there, you make your own country. Your rules, baby. UN don't recognise you. Well, they best recognise this fucking drill.
Best recognise this drill.
And on top of all of that, Dan, you've got easy access to South America. The population also changes quite a lot because of the fact that it's like a scientific outpost. So people tend to like to and fro. That means lots of new friends because people are coming and going. And you can be as social or as antisocial as you want. Plus, guess what? Winter rolls around, mate. It's like a constant fucking rave because it's not Aurora Borealis, but there is an Antarctic version. It's dark.
Sick. Right, Kirk. Take me to...
Also, sorry, Southern Hemisphere means that Christmas will be warmer.
In Antarctica.
Yeah, but...
Relatively.
Also, because you're in Antarctica, if you can like skedaddle to the other side of Antarctica, which ain't that far really in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
You could sail or fly.
Mm-hmm.
Not that far to visit Australia.
No, it isn't. I mean, it is, but it isn't. But I get what you're saying.
It's relatively speaking, it's closer than here to Australia.
See about that. Kirk.
Itakatormit means, in the local dialect, big house dwellers.
Oh!
Straight up in there, you get a nice big house as you move in. Neighbors known as polar bears, muskoxen and seals. Lovely to look at, lovely to see, lovely to keep an eye on.
But not penguins.
They're not penguins, no, but, you know, there's a reason for that. Polar bears ate them all. The ones that were down there, and they're pretty cool. Let's see here. So it's got a heliport, which brings all your stuff. It's got an airport with boat transfer also possible a few months a year to Reykjavik, which is pretty cool. Go be a Viking for a while, come back, have some fun, right? And I like the fact that it's only a few months a year because that's your holiday season, right? You can go, okay, cool, I'm going to wait for April. That's when I'm going to go to Reykjavik, and it's going to be great. Let's see here. Also, the population is 345. Now, I'm one of those people that doesn't really like birthdays that much. I can't really be bothered with them. And with 345 people there means you are guaranteed.
Wait, is that why you're not coming to my birthday?
I haven't said I came or not.
Well, no news is bad news.
I probably am, to be fair.
Fair enough.
But just a standard rule. 345, that's a guaranteed 20 days you're not celebrating a birthday. And if you don't like people that much, it's okay because since 2006, the population has dropped by 35%. Meaning that, you know, man is an island. If you like that, then that's the place to be. It's not quite there yet, which means there's some progression towards your ultimate dream. Real nice. Real nice.
Dan doesn't want to be alone. Dan wants to start his own country and be in charge, which is where being in Antarctica wins. Also, mate, there's a constant stream of people. You can convince them to stay. If Lauren doesn't want to move there, mate, plenty of women to be mooching in.
Right.
So you're looking at this as starting all over again, where in my position, he already has a town situated there that is slowly going down in population, means he'll be king one day.
No, he won't. He'll be mayor at best because it's still part of Greenland.
But he's king of the town, mayor of the town, he'll be in charge.
If you want to have that chance at the end of independence.
Is Greenland, is it Iceland?
No, Greenland is owned by the Danish, I think.
God knows.
Yeah, I'm sure they're owned by the Danish.
Someone, aren't they?
Part of the Empire of Denmark or some shit.
Scoresperson Danish. Yeah.
All right.
I just checked. So, Chili Villy.
There's Kirk still going.
Yeah, it's my go. What's your favorite basketball team, Dan?
You tell me.
The Bulls.
It's not.
Oh. You always wear the Bulls.
Yeah.
You got the hat. Well, how would you like to have a country that's got its logos in the shield? Yeah, it's nice, right? It's nice. Yeah.
It's not a country. That's the town.
The town, then, whatever. The town flag. The coat of arms.
There's a blue bull.
It looks just like the Bulls logo.
Yeah, because guess what? Dying population, you'll have blue balls while you're there. Can I jump back in now?
Sure.
He's floundering.
Chili Villy, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking, fuck me, that'll be a bit bruh. I might be chilly in two ways, part of the country and a bit cold. Not that different to the UK, my friend.
Nah, the cold I can handle.
Right. Look at this, right?
Both are going to be pretty cold, let's be honest.
So, record high temperatures of 13 degrees in summer. That's January, February here.
That's not that bad, is it?
No. Average is like between 2 and 5 degrees, which is bearable. It's not like you're freezing your dick off, is it? Okay, record lows are pretty brutal, but you'll be inside then because they're at night.
Apparently, it feels colder at like -6 to 3.
Like,
and then once you pass like -10, it's like
It's -40.5, so it's all right.
Good lord!
It can feel colder because it's the moisture evaporating and freezing, and it's because But if it's like once you get past the point where water's no longer an issue, mate, you're fine. So, but like 13 degrees in January,
bearable.
Yeah, that's shorts weather.
Yeah.
Shorts and a hoodie, but shorts. And global warming. Global warming's happening, so it's only going to get balmier down there. And, another thing. Sorry. Last important thing before I jump, Kirk.
Before you jump in.
last thing before I hand back over to Kirk. You listed off a significant number of countries that we weren't allowed to have. You've indicated there's some crazy shit going on in the world. Right? The Northern Hemisphere, when the nukes go, ain't the place to be, son. You will be in the best possible situation. What's Putin going to push the big red button and be like, oh yeah, fuck it, we'll bomb Chile Villi for the fuck of it? No way. Greenland, that's going to get caught up in that shit. It's just off the coast of Canada, just part of Denmark. It's going to get glassed like everyone else.
That's where all the refugees are going to go.
Antarctica, those refugees ain't going to make it that far.
No.
You'll be down there, feet like snowsuit on, sunbathing, and they'll be like, oh, guess what, guys? It's just got 20 degrees warmer because the Northern Hemisphere doesn't exist.
I have to import a load of potatoes and carrots and stuff and start my own farm down there.
Yeah.
Build a big heat dome.
All right. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Dan, what's your favorite sea animal?
The bulls.
What's my favorite sea animal? That is a good question. Probably.
I know what it's going to be. It's the narwhal, right? Giant thing with a massive.
I mean, they are pretty cool,
head, right?
They're just diabetic unicorns. Get over it.
They are pretty cool.
They are the unicorns of the ocean, and they are in abundance where we are. In abundance, you can see them every day.
Nice.
Narwhals every day, along with walruses, polar bears, of course, Arctic foxes. They're all over the place down there. It's great. Also, this country wasn't founded in 1925, or this town 1925, which means that, you can pretend World War I didn't happen.
Just pretend.
Just pretend.
But I'm also fairly certain they were on the German side in World War II.
The Danes?
Yeah.
Why would you say this?
I'm fairly certain it's true. You want kids, don't you, Dan? At some point, you want a family. Do you know what's really important? It's really important that they get a proper education. Imagine being in a school with only 15 students. Parent-teacher night would be fucking well easy. And they're going to get the care and attention they need from the 3 teachers that work there. 5 students each, right? Easy. So you want a good class, good education, you'll have it there for your kids.
15 people is hardly a good enough amount to play tag, let alone have a game of football with.
It's enough for a flag football game with subs. You could make flag football Chile Villi's national sport.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chile already have a team.
Yeah, but this is Chile Villi.
Oh, I see.
This is Villa's talk.
Chile Villi.
Whatever it's called.
Chile Villi from Chile.
Would just be the Chile Village.
Yeah.
You could be Bubba Shrimp. It's got one of the highest populations of shrimp within its vicinity. You could beat Bubba Shrimp and make a lot of money off that.
Do you like shrimp then?
What's a what?
Bubba Shrimp? Not seen Forrest Gump?
Bubba Shrimp? No.
Oh.
Do you like shrimp, Dan?
Yeah.
You thought about it. Sounds like you get pretty sick of it after a while.
Not my go-to.
And Icelandic types, Greenlandic types, Danish types.
I like crab.
They like a lot of weird fish things, like smoked herring in jelly and, pickled catfish and stuff. It's pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. Chili, on the other hand.
Penguin.
No. Chili, it's a lot of like, Latin American type food, And I know man likes a Mexican. And that'll warm you up in the winter.
Nearby to this village, or this town, is Unartek settlement, which has been abandoned. Let's just say best paintball ever. You can make your own nuke town.
But you've also got to try and get the paintball supplies.
Plenty
I'm sure
of
I can
whales.
get them. Listen, how long has this been going on for?
Too long.
I think I want to end this. Kirk, you really screwed yourself on this one.
Oh, I did. There isn't a lot going on here, to be fair, mate.
There's not a lot going on there, but he's done really well. And I'm going to give you one chance to maybe change my mind. Pronounce the name of that place. First try.
Already done it.
No, do it again.
Itakotormit.
I disagree. He's got the point. You won't get it anyway.
Damn it.
I was sitting there and I was like, I could feel Salty D rising in me. I was like, there's no way that twice now in this one show somebody's going to say James got the point unless you have another 10 minutes to argue.
Shit.
No, that was...
Yeah, well done, Kirk. That was a good effort, mate.
Patronising was that?
No, it wasn't. I didn't mean
you lost.
I didn't mean for it to sound patronising. Can I ask, was your logic the same as mine, where you literally Googled most isolated place on Earth?
Yeah, I just searched like, is there a town in Antarctica? And it was like, yes.
I know. I Googled most isolated places on Earth, and then went from there. You nearly got like somewhere in the mountains of like Naples.
Oh, nice skiing.
But so at the end of episode 10, properly the final countdown now, isn't it?
Proper.
Nothing has changed.
It's 11 for me, 10 for Smokey D, and 9 for Captain Kirk.
Incredible.
So, what's episode 11 going to bring?
More questions.
More answers.
and 3 more points.
Hopefully.
Spread between at least 2 of us.
Right. Well, thank you all very much.
I'm not wrong.
Thank you all very much for listening. I've been Thick Jim.
I've been Captain Kirk.
And I've been Smokey D.
See you in the next one.
Bye.